Next up, we've got Justice League 3000. Because when every DC hero thing involving the Legion of Superheroes set in the year 3000 sucks and gets canceled, we need to fill that gap. And apparently that gap is the Justice League 3000. Written by Keith Giffen and James DeMatteis with art by Howard Porter. The future is scary. 3,000 years in the future, there are dark forces acting around, but they don't appear to have any superheroes of their own. So they decided to bring back the greatest heroes of all time, the classic Justice League. It's not clear exactly the means through which they've achieved this. They appear to be possibly clones, or they sometimes refer to resurrected or reawakened, so that maybe they've taken some aspect of them. But you've got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, and Green Lantern 1,000 years in the future being created by some government. It's kind of like Punk Rock Jesus, but instead of Jesus, they bring back the Justice League, which is DC's Jesus, basically. It is what it is. I don't know if you saw that Bryan Singer Superman movie, but it was in there. And it's actually really cool. It's neat to see the archetype of these characters, you know, the Superman, they're their own archetypes, I guess. They're not really paladins and rogues. Superman is an archetype. It's neat to see them in this new light where they're sort of not really in control, or they maybe don't have total agency in their lives, and they're being used theoretically for good purposes to create a team that can save the universe. But it's also neat to see the interplay where they have some of the memories, but they don't. They're the characters without the history, which in a way is the New 52 universe. But really interesting, intriguing. If you're a DC fan, it's great to see this iteration of the team. And I was actually really surprised. I was not expecting a lot going in, and it kind of got me into it. It's a neat interpretation of characters I already love.
Very, again, Elseworlds-esque if you're looking for that sort of thing. And I find DC kind of returning to the world of Elseworlds without calling it Elseworlds. There was this. What was the other one we just talked about within the last couple of weeks?
Not the 5-year jump.
The Damien. The
Damien,
son of
Wayne,
Batman is very much an Elseworlds tale without calling it Elseworlds. And for those of you that are under age 25, you don't know what I'm talking about anyway. So, yeah.
Elseworlds were awesome.
I liked it. Cataclysm, Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, number 2. This is the interlude in the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man universe by Galactus, infringing on the Ultimate Universe, our Galactus, from the 616 universe. I love this book. I love this character. I love the creative team. I love everything about it, and that's all I want to say, except that something major happens in this one, and Bendis took to the interwebs this morning to make sure that people weren't spoiling it online. So there is a major revelation that happens in this book. So if you're an Ultimate Comics Spider-Man fan and for some reason you're not reading this book because it's called Cataclysm Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, you probably want to pick it up.
It's Bendis writing Spider-Man.
It is.
What's not to love?
Why would you not pick it up?
Next up, we've got a new number 1 from IDW, Indestructible. This is... actually, I don't even know what the creators' names are. Written and created by Jeff Klein and drawn by Javi Guerin and Salvi Garcia. Good job, guys. Indestructible is a world not unlike our own, except there are superheroes running around. But when you have people with powers, what you also have is a media culture that wants to turn them into stars. So powered people are kind of like reality TV show stars in this world. And we follow a normal schmuck like you or I, a kind of a fanboy geek guy, and he...
We can't say too much without giving away what happens in this book.
It's about him. He's living a normal life. It's not overly humorous, but there's definitely a lot of humorous tone to it, and it's got kind of absurd situations. You've got him going out on a first date with a woman, and that...
who is either an actress or a stripper.
Depending on your point of view. And so he tries to take his buddy's games back to the video store, and is in there when the place gets robbed at gunpoint, which leads to a series of events that
turn the media spotlight on
him.
Our main character, what's his nuts? I don't remember his name.
It was really fun. This reminded me a lot of like Snapshot, an indie book taking a character not unlike a comic shop worker or proprietor or fan and following them into a world that's not really the one we normally inhabit. And it was just a lot of fun. It was very cool, lots of neat referential stuff, and it was an interesting premise that promises to pay dividends down the road.
No, I liked it, and it's got a pull quote from George R.R. Martin on the cover. So
a laugh out loud exploration of superhero and superego. George R.R. Martin, Game of Thrones.
Father of Game of Thrones. So all you Game of Thrones fans, the father of Game of Thrones likes this book. You should read it.
He's like the Godfather.
Yes, he's the Godfather.
Ask a favor on the day of his daughter's wedding. So that's a new #1 from IDW, but we've also got a load of other new awesome stuff we're going to give you quick hits on. We've got Doc Savage, Man of Bronze, from the good people at Dynamite. This is written by Chris Roberson, who you may remember over at Dynamite was working on Masks, which everybody loved. And this is a cool re-envisioning, not necessarily re-envisioning, just a retelling of the origin. And I liked it. I know next to nothing about Doc Savage, and I thought it was a great read. And then we've got Dead Body Road from Image. This is written by Justin Jordan, who you may remember from the
Strange Talent of Luther Strode.
I was going to say The Strange Life of Luther Strode, but yeah, Talent, that one. Also Team 7 at DC and something else at DC. But art by
Matteo Scalera.
Matteo. That's supposed to be an O? Yeah. All right. Matteo Scalera.
Who did a great job on something I just read, and I can't remember. Black
awesome
Science.
This week.
Black Science.
Oh, Black Science. Yeah, I like that. Dead Body Road is the story of a heist gone wrong and the heavies coming after people, both the good guys, the cops, and, well, maybe not good guys, but both the legal authorities and the criminal underworld trying to track down the people who it went wrong with and why it went wrong. But the interesting part is one of the people killed in the robbery is the girlfriend, wife, whatever, of another gentleman.
Wife of someone.
Wife of this guy who's presumably the main character, who is basically going all AWOL and
he's going all
tracking down
Frank Castle, Punisher, kind of sort of.
I was actually going to say Walking Tall, but Frank Castle's probably a better scenario. He's going to track down the people that done him wrong and hurt his lady. And it was really good. It was nice and fresh. I mean, the overall archetype is something we're familiar with, but I like the characterizations. I like the way the different characters interplay, and I like that there's a whole lot of people in here, and I don't know which ones are good and which ones are bad. It's very interesting.
The car chases are pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the action sequences were great.
Scalera. Peter Scolari. Bosom buddies. Anyway, we're off the rails.
Yes.
Last up is
this is not a new #1, but it might as well be since it took like 8 months to come out.
Not that long, maybe 4 or 5 months.
It's been quite a while. Damon issue 2. You remember we talked about Damon issue 1 when it came out a couple months back, and we really liked it. It's written by Matt Gagnon and drawn by Michael Allen Nelson. And this is this
wrong.
Oh, they work together on the title?
They work together on the writing.
Meh.
Art by Brian Stelfreeze. That's the selling point. Stelfreeze was huge in the late 80s, early 90s, especially doing some cool Batman stuff over at DC. And this is his return to interior illustration after many years, I think 7 or 8 years. Carry on.
George Michael was also huge in the late 80s, early 90s. Just like to point that out.
He is not part of this book, by the way.
Not related in any meaningful way. You've got the humans who are the servants of vampires in the daylight. They're daymen who go about protecting their interests. And it's very cool. He's kind of like a dirty, hairy specialist who's working for vampires, going around doing all sorts of stuff. You know, sometimes it's a simple pickup, sometimes it's protection, sometimes it's elimination, and it's just neat. I like that there's a vampire mythos here that we're being introduced to. We're seeing the new stuff about the Damon that we didn't really know, and it's just a lot of fun. So I know the gap is off-putting, but please check it out. It's good.
Yes. For those of you local, we actually unearthed a couple copies of issue #1,
Mm-hmm.
so we do have a handful of issue #1 on the shelf. First prints, so you can catch up if you didn't pick it up the first time around.
First printings. Okay.
First printings.
I was hearing Purple Rain in my head. First
prints.
Yeah. So this has been All Three Comics. 144.
Would you like some pancake? Dave Chappelle, come back.
Funny guy.
We need you. We need the Chappelle Show back on the air to make us laugh. So that's it. There actually was a ton of stuff that came out this week, and so much that I thoroughly enjoyed. I don't know about you. I think you...
No, I did. There's a lot of great stuff.
A great deal as well. It's a huge week. I think that's to make up for the light week, the week of Christmas, which is kind of sort of a skip week, but there's only a handful of stuff coming out. So, head out to your local comic book store, pick up a whole bunch of great comics, and if that's us, we hope to see you soon. Thanks always for watching. We'll see you next time.